time is nigh. Open up your eyes to see the signs of the times. Got to be wise to all of their lies. Look to the skies from where my help comes. Wake up, got to wake up from the slumber. Don't let them pull you under. Rise up above the water. Never let them wrestle you into the mud.
Yes, family. Greetings in the name of His and Her Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I, Empress Waziri Menin. Yes, y'all already know. One perfect balance. Welcome to Politically Incorrect, where we get it correct, and if we're not correct, feel free to correct us. Yes, family. Yes, family. Thanks for tuning in again. Tonight is a wonderful Wednesday. It is the 4th or the 5th? Well, which one is it? I think the 5th. It might be the 5th, yeah. What is it? Sorry, the 4th of June. Don't push it. Yes, we have officially reached half of the year. Unbelievable. But we here. And as a result of being here, you know what that means, man. Things are rolling very quickly forward, man. So, you know, we got to take stock of where we at as a people. Like I said before, we got to pay attention. We got to pay attention. We got to pay attention. So take a minute to go tell a friend and tell a friend. We have an interesting evening. We have some questions regarding the AG, the whole Tint law. We have some questions regarding Mr. Frondel's story. I see a few videos being uploaded now, some old videos, but it's something he said in one of them that I think is very profound, you know, Mr. Philosopher. But the question is direction more important than speed? Because we're moving very fast forward, but where exactly are we going? Stay tuned for tonight's program. We're going to get into it. Plus, I got a video about some royal visits that you got to pay attention to. You got to pay attention. We had a royal visit, and none of these ministers got the ability to answer the important questions. You know, there's always that, oh man, to say it bluntly, that house Negro approach. You know what I mean? Y'all watch Django? Y'all remember Samuel Jackson's role? You know, y'all, you know, it is pretty blatant at this point. We got to call a spade, man. It's pretty obvious. We're going to touch on that as well. So stay tuned. We got some exciting videos. And I don't know, man. I seen another video recently about this Miss Montley and Dominica. I'm not even sure why folks seem surprised, because anyhow, we're going to touch on that too. Plus, also, wait, one more. Also, y'all realize that a lot of the things that we suggest here, that you, the viewers, the comments you make, the ideas you put on the table, y'all paying attention? Do y'all realize that, strangely enough, coincidentally enough, a lot of the things y'all recommend actually kind of make it into Parliament? I just want to review something else. Something we said on this program as a recommendation. Perhaps they had it in mind. I don't know. But I want to touch on that too. So, like I said, stay tuned. We got an exciting night, and I'm looking forward to it for sure. So let's just jump right into it. But in the meantime, go tell a friend and tell a friend. Politically Incorrect is up and running. Plus, we got some exciting surprises coming up. I'm really excited about it. Not trying to mug you or anything, but yeah, we got some stuff coming up. So go tell a friend, whether you on my personal page, Emmanuel Barelia, whether you on Politically Incorrect Facebook page, or whether you are on YouTube. Politically Incorrect family is one family. Shout out to Fade, by the way. Shout out to the whole of Fade and Barbados National Congress. Also, I see we got Alex Mitchell in the building. Shout out to Alex Moore. Good night to you too. Peace, Islam Moore. It's good to have you join us tonight. It's a coalition of united parties. I like to think it's a coup. Barbados needs a coup right now, man. It's a coalition of united parties or united people, for sure. Somebody said, you know, get home from work. Nah, homie, I don't even work. I don't work. The only work I do is God's work. So I'm always on call. It's a duty. You know, we always on call, man. Always on call. Why you say that, Sean? Because I look like I ain't know. Wait, why you say I look like I don't get home from work? Where I coming from, man? You trying to city rasta? I look sharp or something? I don't look homely. You cut it out, man. Go tell a friend to tell a friend. Sexy D, it was good, but long time don't see. How you been, man? How the family? I trust it all as well. Remember, family, to tune into Politically Incorrect Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. All right. So I'm going to have to change the time from 8 p.m. to sometime that night. We appreciate your support, though. For those who actually use a PayPal account, Berelia, we give thanks. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Y'all already know. If you want to email us, the email address is on there as well. If you want to call on WhatsApp, feel free to do so. The number is 246-838-8253. 8253. Let me see if I can get some eyes in the sky tonight. Daffodil, big shout to you too. Okay. Wow, this clicked in and it was up and running. Okay, well, thank you for that algorithm. So anyhow, we see you too. Gel, we see you, family. We see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good night to you too, Tim. Was Monday night show canceled? Man, if y'all only knew. No, it wasn't canceled. It just didn't quite click. Having some little glitches, you know it is. Tim, I don't know, Tim. I don't want to say is not hack or none of that. I don't know, but sometimes you got to pull on the system and reboot it, and it just little issues that came up. By the time I got through that, it was really late. I was like, man, I ain't gonna even do it that night. We be on here till about 2:00. Y'all may not mind that, but I can take that chance. So my apologies in advance. Frank Lowe, good night to you too, family. Greetings, family. Make sure y'all go tell a friend to tell a friend. Make sure you like the page. Click on that like button. That's how this thing's supposed to work. I do my part, you do your part. I heard about Mia and Tear Gas and Dominica. Well, I don't know about that. So you gotta tell me what you heard about that. But yeah, let me know what you heard about that. People not surprised, man. Man went to Dominica. That's what she does best. Well, I don't know if she was there as an official Prime Minister of Barbados, so she was there in official capacity as CARICOM leader. I mean, or she was just there as a personal friend. Who knows? I don't know. I didn't get the memo. Good night to you too, family. Greetings, greetings, greetings. You said don't you work, so how you getting income? I like that. That's a very good question, man. That is a good question. Well, I know what you mean by income, but I know it's an income, but the universe takes care of us, man. Don't God take care of the birds? Don't he clothe the birds and dress the lilies? How much more are we, his divine servants, her divine beings, children of the Most High? How much more are we, who from above to earth came, for those who paying attention? Like Madeline and other people's business. Why is everybody saying that she's meddling in other people's business? You see, we gonna get to the crux of this tonight, because a lot of people saying a lot of things, and when you check it out, it ain't truthful, man. They are not informed, and you can't expect certain people to be informed because they're filtering their information through a lens that isn't based on the status of this situation. It's based on the emotion of a situation. It's based on a democratic approach as opposed to a liberated approach. Miss Motley is not meddling anybody's affairs. It's all one plantation. You know what I'm saying? Dominica and Barbados share a long history, a very unique relationship. So don't think that the families, like I keep telling y'all, a lot of the people who enslaved Africans in the Caribbean, or the Caribbean beings, or the original Caribbeans, are not Europeans. A lot of them look just like you and I. These are the other Moors that decided to subjugate their own brother and their own sister. And therefore they fled and led Columbus into this neck of the woods in pursuit of them. A lot of them came here and took over, married Europeans and whatnot of a fair complexion, but don't get too tapped in it. Because a lot of them are just, those are the ones that did the enslaving. So when you look at it, it's a political class and the political class throughout the region, they're all managers of these corporations known as the islands. As you would know them, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, Barbados, Dominica, Antigua, ain't no different. They're all part of one franchise. So when we keep talking about she meddling in people's business, that is her, Dominica is her business. Why you think she's CARICOM? I mean, are they not all members of Commonwealth? Are they not members of the Commonwealth? You see, the problem is people started to really believe that these parties really represent the people because we taught a certain way. We accept that, you know, they mean us good. They have our best interests at heart. When in reality, you know, use the stock of the plantation, man. You got to wake up, family, and know what time it is, man. Bet she is a good dictator. The brain will be proud her. Well, you know, Sean, again, brethren, I'm telling y'all, man, Miss Motley is no more a dictator than any political leader who does not empower the people who have been subjugated and disenfranchised for all these years. Full stop. You know, they give you with one hand 300, then they put a tax on you in the same presentation, but don't nobody remember that part of it. All you heard was 300, and you ran and got that, not realizing that was the information they needed to make sure they could tax you for this resilience contribution. That's what it is. So now that you locked into the national insurance, guess what? You got to pay that, man. As you get any little pick from the government or any little pick anywhere, national insurance, we got your numbers. You got to pay that. So we give you 3 to register. We're going to take at least 30 from you each. She was there to push her nose in other people's elections as she did in Guyana to keep her COVID-19 crooks together. All of it's a bird of a feather, right? Greetings, family. Greetings. King Alfred, greetings to you too. Man, King Alfred, you gotta be careful, huh? I had warned a friend of mine about, well, just be mindful, man. But greetings to you too, King Alfred. Showed everybody out. Go tell a friend, family. Maria, greetings to you too. I recognize it's that anniversary. Salute to you and your family. More strength as always throughout this time, the special time. We do recognize. Daffodil, greetings to you too, family. I understand the whole colonial thing, bro, but the system soon going to crumble. Well, you know, yes, it's going to crumble. It's going to crumble. But don't think that it isn't going to crumble because they're going to replace it. It has crumbled countless times before. But until the people recognize what they need to do and do what they need to do, it's going to only crumble and get replaced by, like Guyana election, man. Like they're just going to replace with one of their own. You think that they don't know? In fact, here's the thing. Folks are now more conscious than before. Yes, it's that time. Yes, there's going to be a shift. The world is under new management. There's a whole new order, but it didn't start now. It's been started. It's been going on. Yes. The thing, however, is that recognize that the people who are now being informed to step up, unless they do what they're supposed to do, then what's going to happen? It's not by chance that you see a lot of ministers and stuff coming out saying this and saying that. I won't even get into the phone call I got the other day. I won't even get into that. You ain't got to worry. I ain't going to even speak on it. But I don't know if I agree with you personally speaking. And if you're interested in having a conversation about it, you know the number already. You can always give me another shout. And I want to thank the individual who copied the clip and forwarded it. You know who sent you know what to you know who. But let's just keep that between me and you. But thanks for that anyway. But do me a favor, send this one as well and let it be known that I did get the phone call. We did have a conversation, but I don't know if I agree. Because when I reviewed the message, when I reviewed the tape, you did say that. You did say that. And although you understand the explanation you give for saying what you said, when you said what you said, when you said it, when you're ready to talk about it, man, the number's on the screen. You can holler at me when you're ready. Even on the live, it's not a problem. So having said that, though, let me get into tonight's program, family, because the AG, Attorney General, Mr. Dale Marshall, Is direction more important than speed? Family, do y'all see what's going on in Barbados? Do y'all really understand what's going on in Barbados? I mean, this cannot be real. Like, you can't make this stuff up. So I don't know if I should jump into him first or save him for last, because it's like, man, oh man. Like the illogical, nonsensical, I mean, blatant insult to the intelligence of people in Barbados is clearly visible and being implemented as law in countries that, listen, you know what? Let me let him tell you. I'm just going to jump right into him. In fact, he's a main feature. We're just going to jump right into him. We're going to get to Frondell Short in a minute. And we're going to get to the royal visit in a minute too. We're going to definitely touch on that. We even got Hillary Beckles on the program tonight, family. Tonight is one of them nights, family. So buckle up. Straight up. Buckle up, man. The number's on the screen. Feel free to call in. But keep it brief and to the point. But let me go ahead and jump into this thing real quick, man. Let me go. So let me start with this message first and foremost. First and foremost, although it is said that I want y'all to pay attention to this thing with the tints here, because it's a distraction, yes, but it's also a complete indication of where this thing going here, family. Like I said before, it is a disguise. Like the $300 was just an illusion, like a magic show. No one actually gets really cut in half. It's a sleight of the hands, a way of how should I say, misleading you into thinking something that's happening that is not. It's a sleight of the hands, family. Three-card Molly. Let's call it three-card politics. This is three-card politics, because what they're really doing is not what it looks like they're doing. So they're talking about crime and this and that and this and that. Trust when I tell you, this move that they just made has nothing to do with the reduction of crime. It has more to do with what they're planning on doing, which is a much bigger picture, which I want to get into in a minute as well. I want to talk about that in a minute, because it's happening all over, like in synchronicity throughout the Caribbean. Give a little money here and there and all this other stuff. But what they're really doing is trying to catalog people. Cattle. So what the whole point of that is, the key is to put you back in the place of fear and obedience. Not to mention the new strain of COVID that we start talking about. Don't forget, when Trump was in the last time is when COVID came out. Y'all remember that? Now you're back in again, and all of a sudden we got a new variant. But we're going to talk about that too if time permit. In the meantime, in the between time, family, let's listen to this clip right here. Listen to this clip right here, family. Listen carefully. Let me just read it from the top, man. From the top.
25% is the figure that we use in the back windows.
Now, before I get into this too much, I want y'all to listen to the numbers, because the truth is, the Attorney General has no idea what he's talking about. And the reason why I say this, again, is because this document is not new. He would have read this before, or should have read it before, or I'm assuming he read it before. But I'm going to show you tonight where this Attorney General, again, I said he needed to resign, and someone said I was hard on him. I'm not being hard on him. Listen, first of all, I'm from Barbados. The world is watching Barbados because it's motley all over the world. So folks tend to look at Barbados a little different. But if you're going to get up as a person in politics and claim that you represent the nation, and you're going to get up and make some of the most nonsensical comments that you could possibly think of, uneducated, without review, and nobody around you can pull your coattail and say, look, bro, that don't sound right. Let me show you why I say what I say. Let me let this play. So first of all, it's 25% on the back.
25% is the figure that we use in the back windows. 20% in the case of the front windows. So
okay, so there's 20% on the front and 25% on the back. Now, what does this percentage means, family? I'm going to show you in a minute. We're going to pull it up in a minute and take a look. Because understand what this is, because like in Europe, for example, the back windows are allowed to be tinted darker than the front. The front windows are not supposed to be as dark in order to kind of, allow so you can see who is driving the vehicle. So notice that there's a difference between the front seat, the front passenger, the front of the vehicle versus the back of the vehicle. So again, the numbers are this.
25% is the figure that we use in the back window.
Okay, so the percentage works like this. The lower the percentage, the darker the tint. The higher the percentage, the lighter the tint. Y'all understand me? I'm gonna say it again. So the darker, the lower the percentage, the darker the tint is going to be. So 5% tint will like almost blacked out. It's dark. And 70%, like he will mention, is like the front glass. He says it's going to be clear. But I will show you again in a minute. So when he says that the back glass is going to be 25%, it means that the back glass is going to be lighter than the front glass, which is going to be 20%. So in other words, the back windows could be lighter and the front windows could be darker. Let's keep that in mind.
25% is the figure that we use in the back windows. 20% in the case of the front windows. So driver side, front side passenger, 20%.
So the front of the car is allowed to be darker than the back of the car, which means that you will have more visibility in the back of the car as opposed to the front of the car. But hold on, there's more.
And then, Mr. Speaker, 70% in the case of windscreens, because you need the windscreen to be as visible as possible. So those are and we didn't just come up with these figures. We had meetings with all of our stakeholders. We met with all the people who own car fleets. We met with the people who are plating. We met with police. We met with a variety of individuals.
Met with a variety of individuals. Almost everybody. That doesn't mean they took the advice they received. Remind me of the cannabis bill, but we ain't gonna get into that right now when it comes to Rastafari. That's for another program. I'm almost prepared to do that one, but not yet. I'm gonna see what happened in the next few first. But anyhow, put that one aside. So here's the deal now. So the experts, we didn't come up with these numbers. We got it from the experts, which don't make no sense. But anyhow, by international law, international standards. All right. So they got a bunch of different numbers. But wait, hold on.
Of whom expressed an interest in the particular issue. And these levels of tint were accepted as being reasonable and appropriate to the task.
Reasonable and appropriate to the task. I don't know what the task is, because the task is supposed to be crime. Wait, what is, wait, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. I need a comment. What is the task, family? I'm just out of curiosity. I mean, I'm talking here and it kind of hit me. Mr. Attorney General, clearly y'all are watching the program. Like I said, I know you're seeing the program. Let me ask you a question. My number on the screen, man. I don't know if you're watching it now, though. What is the task exactly again? Because is it crime? What is it? Crime prevention, crime reduction? What exactly is the task? What is the objective of this supposed to be? Again, I don't know if I quite got it.
Their whole long list. I believe that relevant medical condition includes albinism, chronic actinic dermatitis, actinic reticuloid. These are not things that I understand. They're beyond my ken. But
right, he doesn't understand these medical terms for people who might have issues with their skin and need to have a certain tint on the vehicle. So there's exception for some people who must be suffering from some sort of medical illness. But there are also exceptions for other vehicles, like police vehicles, emergency vehicles, or sorry, the word they used was service vehicles. So any vehicle that's being used in the service, I suppose police, ambulance, I suppose fire truck, whatever other vehicle that's in service, those vehicles are allowed to have an exception on the tint. But not you, Mr. Private Citizen, not you, Mr. Citizen. You don't get to do that. We need to see what's going on there, because after all, it impairs our visibility in regards to somehow crime.
We went to the trouble of surveying the legal exemptions across the world, and these are the medical conditions that they allow. Dermatomyositis, that's obviously a thing of the skin.
This legislation is
Before I get to he who shall not be mentioned but is mentioned nevertheless, before I get to him, let me say this, right? So let me ask this question. So hold on, let me check the comments first, man, because I don't want to get too ahead of myself here. Where we at? I was being asked what you think about the leader of Burkina Faso. Okay, I'm gonna get that in a minute, Jel. I got you covered. Okay, let me just say it real quick. What I think about him, I was following him since the last 3 years or so, way back before anybody even knew there was a place called Burkina Faso, because I'm into agriculture. The first thing he did was bought tractors for the farmers. So yeah, that was a big thing for me back then, way back then. He's more popular now because he's done a lot more. So what I think that the Caribbean needs our own Ibrahim Traorés running around the place. Yes, I recognize what the brother's doing. He has two components that we don't currently have right now. He has an army and he has access to money. So it's a lot easier to do things in that capacity. So I salute the brother. But we here in the Caribbean, we need to get our own Traorés going so we can organize and do things here ourselves as well. So that's what I think about the brother. I salute the brother, I support the brother, but I also think that we need to stay and take care of our home drums beating first as well. We need to celebrate those amongst us who are out there in the front line putting in work. We need to support those who out there in the front line putting in work as well, even financially. And I got to say it because the revolution isn't free. The brother asked me earlier, how do I get an income, quote unquote? I don't get an income. I put in work. The university takes care of the people out the front line. So I trust it to work out how it work out. We can't even think about that. We just do the work. Just do the work. What you need will show up when you need it to show up. So we're going to be good, family. We're going to be good. Starcom Network blog, another shooting, man, in Eden Lodge. This is from the one to, okay, got you. I don't know if they were driving a vehicle with tints or not. Greetings to you too, family. Shalom. Greetings, mighty beings. They want to see the baby on board and in the car seat. Oh man, what it is that those cameras they have up, thermal imagery. So I don't know why they act like they don't have that technology, but those flock cameras you see all over the place now, these special boxes with these, those flock cameras aren't normal cameras. That's them some high-tech stuff, man, real high-tech. Don't let them fool you. But I find it difficult to listen to Guy Smiley, aka the AG. Well, I listen to them though, whether you difficult or not, because what they're saying is important. Because they tell you what they're doing. They got to tell you. The devil got to tell you what they're up to. They got to tell you what they're up to. Yes, and they're devils, man, because they oppose the people. Every law they bring out is a law that takes something from you. Every one of them. So there's the laws for the. Well, let me go about it this way. All laws aren't the same. There are laws for those who are enslaved, and there are laws for those who are doing the enslavement. They're not the same, man. So you got to pay attention. You definitely got to pay attention. Don't let them fool you, man. But this agenda right here. So let me ask a question. What this is, first of all, let me just answer this question. Is it going to come a time where you can't put curtains up on your house? So when the police come to your house, they can see what's going on inside? Because the reason for this, Mr. Marshall, is so illogical that the reason that you're giving doesn't make any sense. So it's obvious, like I said, family, this is being done for a different reason. I'm going to tell you that reason in a minute also. Because when the officers approach your house, there's no visibility. There's a door, there's windows with curtains. They can't see what's on the inside. So they always have to be alert to prepare for what is to come. They never know. But yet they tell you that they need to see inside your car. Now, is that not then an invasion of privacy? Is it not then a violation of your constitutional rights, the rights to privacy? So this particular law is a constitutional violation. And I don't know if Mr. Thorne has approached it from that standpoint. I don't know. I really haven't heard him in his entirety, his response in its entirety. But if he hasn't, I want to recommend that he looks into that and perhaps approach it from that direction. Because as far as us at the BNC is concerned, it's a breach and a gross violation of your privacy, which is a constitutional violation. Because when they approach your home, the same thing applies. So what is it they're really trying to do, family? They're trying to put you in a category using fear and tactics to strip from you your rights that you think you have, which they want to take back from you. You're being herded back to the plantation, family, slowly and surely, through a planned recession, a hike in prices to take from the minimum to the middle class and force you into a state of compliance. All these little measures are being done to force you into a state consciously of compliance, starting to obey everything they say. Citizen, in fact, let me prove it tonight as well. I'm gonna prove it, man. I'm telling you, this is easy stuff to prove. They do it simultaneously. So let me let this finish playing out. Hold on a second. So at night, we have to drive with inside lights on. Hold on, Alex. I'm going to get to that in a minute. Hold on. You jumping the gun. In fact, hold on. Let me play this video first. And then we're going to go to that video. Very good point, Alex.
Thing of the skin.
This legislation is unrelated to the issue of violent crime in any real and meaningful way.
Fact.
And that it seems that crime is so highly organized and sophisticated that whether we have this legislation today or not, it will occur. And that is why my position, Your Honor, is that this is diversionary.
Mr. Thorne, like I said, I don't question you, I just have some questions for you. And this is one of those occasions where I want to commend you for, speaking boldly, as you normally do, regarding a number of issues when it comes to some of the nonsensical things going on in the House of Cards, because that's all they could call it at this point. This is we got to rename Parliament. What's that place in Manhattan that used to show that Broadway show called Cats? You remember Cats? For those who know it, Madison Square Garden or something. This is Barbados rectangle room. That's what this is. The rectangle room. We call it the rectangle room from now on, man. This is the rectangle room. That's what this is. But my brother Alex Mitchell brought a very valid point to the table, and I want to go ahead and do this one real quick because I want to show you what 25%. Because like he said, in fact, before I go there, let me show this first. Let me show this first. 25% he said 25% in the back and 20% in the front. But I want to show you what 25% tint actually looks like. What it actually looks like on a vehicle. And this is so when you look at this vehicle right here, this vehicle is, as best you can see it, the tint on this vehicle, and show it to top shelf tint, by the way. I'm using a video just to show you. Show it to top shelf tint. This is a vehicle that's in a room that's well lit around on the outside, so you can see through it. Like in the daytime, you're able to see through the vehicle to some degree, but maybe not make out clearly or distinctly facial imagery to some degree. So Alex said, so at night we have to drive with inside lights. Well, let me just let this video rotate a bit here while we take a look at it. And so this is what it looks like, family. This is what it looks like. Unfortunately, though, when it comes to the nighttime session, even 25% tint at night will not be as visible. It won't be. You won't be able to see any vehicle that easily because, of course, the light is on the outside as opposed to the inside. So when it comes, again, like I said, when it comes to tint and looking at tint, recognizing what it looks like during the day is one thing, but at night, I guarantee you, even 25 tint, which is lighter than 20 tint, will not be as easy visible. Yes, we know 70 is almost like clear. Nobody's questioning that. But I guarantee you when it comes to night, it won't be that bright. So I suppose when they, quote unquote, spotting their lights on the inside, they might perhaps maybe give them a better view to some degree. However, it still won't be that easy because the light, the black tint might just reflect the light like a mirror, having a mirror effect as opposed to what they're looking for. But good night to you too, Monica. Greetings to you too. Go tell a friend to tell a friend. Yes, Daffodil, the whole of Fade, BNC community, we know what time it is. Tint glass isn't the problem, the system is. That's right. Greetings to you too, brethren. Godspeed, Godspeed. They have the right to search your car without a warrant. No, they don't. No, they don't. No, they do not. They tell you that, but they don't actually have that, Sean. Don't even promote that on this program. They don't have no rights over you. That's why they ask you a question. Can I see your driver's license? Can I see this? Those are all questions. Those are all questions. There's a reason why they ask you a question. But naturally, we are conditioned to comply because right now they're trying to condition the people of Barbados to comply with all these rules and regulations. It's about right now complying. That's what it's about right now. Complying, man. Complying. And to prove it, let me go here real quick. Hold on. I ain't done yet. Let me get this video. There's another one I got for you. Wait. Where is it? Wait, where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay, hold on. Yeah. This is it right here. Hold on. Let me just put this one aside. Wait. Get ahead of myself. Let me go ahead and share this right here real quick. Yes. So this is the one I want to get to know real quick. This one right here real quick. So like I said, family, why is these things happening in Barbados? Because all these little laws, they put out these statutes, they put out these ordinances, these vehicular ordinances. These aren't no laws. The Tint is not a law. They're using this word interchangeably. These are all citations. You get a citation for this. The minute that you put a citation or a monetary value on what they call a statute or law, what they call in a law, recognize that it is punishment for the poor, because the wealthy who can afford it would not care. They'll pay that fine going and coming every time without even thinking twice. So understand that anytime you put a penalty of a monetary value on something, understand that that's a law to enforce on the poor. So it's only illegal for those who can't afford to pay the fines. Get what I'm saying? So this is the games they play. So that's why I say to you, when Mr. Attorney General, these guys know what they're doing, family. These is the old pirates that robbing the people, man. Trust what I tell you. And the whole thing is to force you into complying, being obedient. You don't believe me? Listen to this. Listen to this. Deputy Speaker of the House, right? Cynthia Ford.
I would want for the Honourable Minister, the Attorney General, to be able to let us deal with some of these matters, because if we do not legislate it, it seems to me as though we will not be able to get that good discipline and good order and conformity with the law, and so to continue to be the hallmark of what Barbados has been and what it should continue to be.
Did y'all hear what she just said? Yeah. Is it me, family? Right on the heels of all these little new statutes / laws, listen to what she gets up and say. Understand, family, you're being corralled, you're being led into slavery, enslavement, back on the plantation. Obey, just obey. Don't question it, just obey. Don't watch Politically Incorrect. Don't mind that Rasta, man. He being hard. It's funny, right? Because y'all do this to the people with a smile as if y'all are doing some great thing, when it's obvious to the intellectual ones that are here, the divine ones that are here, those beings that came from above that are here, that is obvious what you're doing. And the people now, guess what? Starting to realize what it is. It's when the sister said the system going to crumble. It ain't going to crumble. The system going to last. It's the people that trying to corrupt the system that's going to crumble and implode on themselves and fall on their own sword. Listen to what she said again, fine. For those who missed it, listen carefully to what she just said.
I would want for the Honourable Minister, the Attorney General to be able to let us deal with some of these matters.
I want the Attorney General to let us deal with these matters, some of them at least.
Because if you do not legislate it,
if you don't put it in law,
it seems to me as though we will not be able to get that good discipline and
if you don't make it law, the people ain't gonna pay you no mind.
Good order and conformity with the law.
They're not going to obey the order
And so to
and the law
continue to be the hallmark of what Barbados has been and what it should continue to be.
What Barbados has been. What Barbados has been. Listen to me, people. I'm serious about this thing tonight on a different program here. This is a different kind of program tonight. Listen carefully. Of the hallmark, right, of what Barbados has been. Hold on. And what it can, hold on, man. Let me let that last part sink in because y'all ain't paying attention. You know, I'm telling y'all, I gonna play Frondell short next. Hold on, man. Don't go too far. Don't get tight with them, you know, family.
The hallmark of what Barbados has been.
What Barbados has been.
And what it should continue to be.
And what it should continue to be. I got a question for you, Miss Ford, with all due respect, you know. When you say when the benchmark of what Barbados has been, hold on a minute. Let me just clear my throat. I know you know, Miss Ford. I is my grandmother child here. Aunt Rose. That's Aunt Rose. I is a product of Aunt Rose, straight up. So let me answer this question on behalf of the ancestors, right? When you say what Barbados used to be, what Barbados used to be, which part of Barbados history are you referring to when you said that? Because I find you was rather vague with that statement. You wasn't clear at all. At what point of the history of Barbados are you referring to regarding the obedience to the law? Was it the part that was the whips and the chains, the lynchings, the murder? Which part are you referring to, and what it should continue to be? What part of that same history are you projecting by means of the Attorney General into the future of the people of this nation? This is why when they're in trouble, you know, shout to Barbados National Congress while I at it again, man. Because y'all are starting to slip, it's starting to leak. Y'all are starting to reveal your colonial intentions for the nation of Barbados and the people of this nation, separate from the country Barbados. But we are grateful for it. Thank you. I'm telling you, because the more y'all begin to recite your truths, the more you're going to expose the reality. And believe you me, the vote that last by-election, the fact that so many people are not turning up to show you the support is an alarm for you all. And I know it's an alarm. I know you're nervous. I know you're nervous. It'd be like, I mean, she just literally told you, what part of Barbados history are you referring to, Ms. Ford? I would like to know. The ancestors are asking you tonight, Ms. Ford, from beyond. And we, the ones that are living, representing them, are asking you, Ms. Ford, her honor, I didn't even get into that. Whatever, Ms. Ford, respectfully. What part of Barbados history are you referring to? The people inquiring minds want to know. And this is why y'all in trouble, I'm telling you. It's a spiritual thing going on. I don't know, Mr. Thorne. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. You said you serious, man, but you will have to step your spirit game up because we fight not against flesh and blood here. This is not kind of war. This is not kind of Rhonda. A wonderful night to everyone. Shout to the whole banner crew. Demerara for life. Home of the revolution. There's that time, yeah. There's that time. Discipline, okay. Okay, greetings to the family from UK. Shout to the matriarch and all the others. Yes, those abroad. Those up in Canada. Those in the UK. Shout to Pedro, though. You're kind of late, Pedro. Part you was Pedro. You kind of late, though. What happened? What happened? Don't be like the Laodiceans here, Pedro. Heard Cynthia beginning to show signs of dementia. I don't know you heard that. You heard that from a doctor? If you heard it from a doctor, well then he violated the client profession, doctor and client rights. He violated that, and he you know, that's bad, man. I don't know where you got that from. Rasta, they going soon put a ball and chain on the citizen. They want law and order. Nah, they already got a ball and chain on the citizen, man. They trying to bring out the whips now and the striped uniform and the bars, man. You know, they trying to limit what they already got you limited to. The ball and chain never left. It was always on the mind. You see what I'm saying? They're trying to put the chains back up in the reality, in the physical form, man. Greetings to you too, family. Shalom, shalom. Yeah, you believe she said that, man? But hold on, wait. Let me hold on. Let me go to this one right here now, though, because this one gonna take a little longer. This one here gonna be a little longer. I gotta play this a little bit more, but bear with me tonight, family. I don't want to play the whole thing, so I can try to see if I can skip through some of it. But yes, I saw one or two videos of Mr. Frondell Short circulating again. They're not new videos, but I'm glad they came back up because, again, Barbadians tend to have, what should I say, a lapse of memory. Because when they're telling you what they're telling you, you need to pay attention. So you heard it from the BLP just now. They want to put you back in order, law and order, obey. Just obey what we tell you to do. Because after all, because we won the seat, we know what's best. This is the weirdest thing. Look, this is freaky. You somehow managed to be elected or selected, whichever one you prefer, to have a constituency. You're part of a party that got the vote according to you, got the selection based on popularity to represent the people, and somehow you feel that you are the authority of the people, when in reality you're just the administrator of the people. You're supposed to be the voice of the people. So when you say the people, which people do you all represent? The plantocracy? Because clearly the Barbadian society, which, by the way, the society is those who are enslaved, by the way. That's not what that word means. Don't forget, you used to brand you with the word society on your chest before. So when they say the society, overstand the science family, they took the brand off but gave you the same title. You're the society. But before you were told that you were the society, you used to be branded with the name on your chest so that you were not mistaken for the plantocracy. So we were clear that once we saw the brand on you, it meant you had an owner. Study what it's showing you, family. Study what it's showing you. So now in today's society, they no longer brand you with the word society. They simply tell you that you are part of the society. In other words, you are part of the branded folks. You're part of the cattle. So then who owns the cattle? Listen carefully. That's why I tell you all here, don't let them fool you here. Six is half dozen here.
So I am here to tell you this evening that we need to get back to the real version of ourselves.
You see this thing again, just getting back. See this thing, family? You got to pay the real version of ourselves. What could that possibly be? Referring to kings and queens in Africa, ruling, creating all kinds of engineering, master builders of the compass and the square that was accurate and not corrupted. What do you mean, Mr. Frondell? Tell us a little more.
We have not been relating to the real version of ourselves.
When you say real again, Mr. Frondell, what point in the history of this country, what version of the people here are you referring to? I mean, maybe it was picking cotton, begging for emancipation, working, sharecropping on the colony, or running around screaming that we independent but don't own a damn thing. Which version are you referring to, Mr. Frondell, Mr. Intellect? Tell us.
And we need to get back to the real Democratic Labour Party.
Or the real Democratic Labour Party, which is to suggest today that the Democratic Labour Party, at the point in time when he made this speech in 2024, August the 18th to be exact, at that point, it wasn't a real Democratic Party. And by the way, what is the real Democratic Party? Tell us about it.
The Democratic Labour Party that spent 33 years of its existence in government.
33 years, huh? Interesting number.
and that won 7 of the last 16 elections in Barbados.
7 of the last 16 elections. That's basically a little under half. Well, that was back then.
And if
by some stroke of luck,
we were to win the next election,
which I don't know if that's even possible,
that would be the 17th election. We would be 8 out of 17. And if you would,
unless, of course, I was the leader of the Democratic Labour Party, of course, that's a guaranteed win, by the way.
only one after that get 2 terms, as is normally the case.
Perhaps.
That would be the 18th, and we would be back to 50% again, 9 out of 18.
50%. Anyhow, that wasn't the point I wanted to make. I just still having a little fun. But listen carefully to this getting back conversation. Hold on a second.
There's nothing in that record of which to be ashamed. So when people come and say, oh no, if you continue doing the same things in the same way, you can and expect a different outcome, something wrong with you. What have we been doing in the same way over and over again and expecting a different outcome? We've been doing the right thing because we have been performing more creditably than most other political parties anywhere in the Caribbean, and certainly outside of the Caribbean. As I said to you, the British Labour Party is 124 years old. And you can check to see how many years of that 124 they spent in government. They're in government now, they won the election on the 4th of July. And we have to wait and see how long that will last. We wish them well. But the Conservative Party suffered its worst defeat in 192 years in that last election. And that real version of ourselves that I'm asking you to get back to did not come by magic. It came by hard work, by the discipline and commitment of our founders and the persons who bequeathed this organization to us.
So the version he's referring to is the Democratic Labour Party that was started on the colony of Barbados, when the individuals in that time, in that space, that dispensation was being controlled by the colonizers. So it wasn't a free people in a sense. It was a colony, a British colony to be exact. And that version is what he's referring to in this message. But hold on, wait, there's more. Hold on, there's more.
Your takeaway from here this evening is going to be about 8 P's. You can hear something about power. You can hear about politics first, then about power, then about party, then about philosophy, then about policy, then about program, then about priorities, and then about projections. All P's, 8 of them. Because it is on the basis of those 8 P's that we have been able to build the record that I just told you about. And it is because we have tended to deviate from those P's that we're now caught up in a lot of interpersonal strife, which really carries us nowhere. And we're caught up in a belief, a false belief, that you can unite an organization around an individual. You can't. You unite organizations around values and principles. Personalities change, principles don't.
Personalities change, principles don't. I'm not sure that was a jab at somebody in particular. It sounded like, you know, he was trying to be a thorn in somebody's side. I don't know. But anyhow, that's not my business. I'm more interested in the getting back part. So you see, again, everybody is trying to, well, both parties are trying to put you back in a colonial barn. They're trying to put you in the pen, family. And it's obvious. This the things they're doing is clearly obvious. And that's just crazy because I don't know, man. I don't know. When I say I don't know, family, don't get me wrong. It's not a case where I actually don't know. I don't know what else to tell you because you've seen it for yourself. This is right in front of your face, and at least for me. And to prove my point even further tonight, allow me to add one more video, at least as it pertains to this particular topic, because I could not believe this myself. I mean, you could not make this stuff up. You can't. You can't. So, in my defense, I'm only observing what they're doing and what they did. What they did. Well, the British royal princess something or the other, don't remember her name, Anne, or I'm not really sure. I think it's Anne, Princess Anne or something like that. Came here, and some folks were all happy about that, for sure, because after all, we still at, some of us in that mindset. That's why I said, family, don't get tapped with these people. All skin folk are not king folk. They have assimilated into the culture of the people on the ground. By virtue of calling you a citizen, you're part of the society. But understand that there was somebody holding that branded iron, branded you society, that didn't have a mark on their chest that with the word society. So they had a different set of laws for them and a different set of laws for you, because they're part of the system, the country, and you're just the cattle on the ranch. You know what I'm saying? Understand what I'm telling you, family. Check this video out, man. Like again, this is my thing. Do not get me wrong. I'm not saying we can't have relations with these other nations across the globe. What I'm saying though is that how we gonna sit here? Like you don't see Israel up in Germany, or you don't see Israel welcoming Germans and Nazis in Israel to come and dwell at the synagogue and have prayers and worship and feast and dine together. You don't see that. So tell me, how on earth this is even possible?
The sound of bagpipes marked the grand entrance of President Dame Sandra Mason and Her Royal Highness the Princess Royal Princess Anne, arriving at His Majesty the King's official birthday party at the British High Commission. When the unique...
I got to pause it there real quick, family. Real quick. This is a party celebrating the King's birthday. They had a birthday party for the King in Barbados at the British High Commission. I got a problem with that, because after all, that's their thing. What got me though, like I said, on the night of the Republic, if y'all remember carefully, the night the country was duped into giving up its sovereignty, the night the country was invaded, it was a soft invasion. The night the country was invaded, and the forces that were here, the security forces, acquiesced to the vessel in dry dock, and Prince Charles, or king at the time, I don't know which one he was, because in fact he was supposed to be prince because the mother was ill or she wasn't here, which I don't understand that part of it. But anyhow, they gave him the keys to the city. Overstand, family, he became in charge. And that wishy-washy apology, he tried to mumble out his mouth. Again, family, we don't want to speak truth to power, but I don't see how we going to reach the point where we at this stage and we doing this stuff, we doing this kind of thing, really? Really? When Barbadians talking about, we're going to discuss reparation. In fact, hold on. Let me let this play first. Let me let this play first.
The sound of bagpipes marked the grand entrance of President Dame Sandra Mason and Her Royal Highness the Princess Royal Princess Anne, arriving at His Majesty the King's official birthday party at the British High Commission. When the unique and distinct blend of notes from the pipes were silenced, Her Royal Highness called for the continuation of the enduring friendship between the United Kingdom and Barbados.
She called for the continued friendship between the two. Now, hold on again. Your Royal Highness, allow me to question you briefly. Which part of Barbados history you want to continue the relationship with regarding? Because when last I checked, Britain been here for a long time. So what part of the relationship are you referring to?
That historical, cultural, and spiritual ties have bonded the two nations together for centuries.
It has bonded us together for centuries, right?
We look to the future, not just for the United Kingdom and Barbados, but for the whole of the Commonwealth. It is clear that meaningful progress can only be achieved through partnerships. And I am delighted that we work together to strengthen climate resilience, build peace and security, and grow mutual prosperity.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, listen to this again. How you even stand up there with a straight face and say that, Princess Anne? All due respect. I realize something in a minute I'm going to ask you about too, but let me get this here going on first. Let me answer this question first. Hold on. Listen to this again, family.
And I am delighted that we work together to strengthen climate resilience, build peace.
You want to build peace with Barbados? After the crimes y'all committed, you now want to build peace. How about starting by giving back that which you took first? If you seriously want to build the peace you're referring to, how about giving back what y'all took first?
And security.
And security. Okay.
And grow mutual prosperity.
And grow, this is the funniest part right here though, and grow in mutual prosperity. You can't, like, nobody can ask, like, if I was there, right? Like, if I was actually, give me an invitation, man. Because I'm going to roll up on the princess, like, yo, what up, Prince? Let me ask you a question, man. On a serious note. I mean, not in a disrespectful way. We're going to have a very serious conversation because I notice how kinky her hair looks. I'm just saying, I could see it look kinky. In fact, it is very kinky, to be exact. It's in a... It is obvious that, Princess got a family secret.
Royal Highness is on the island party because of the Duke of Edinburgh's Commonwealth Studies Conference. She says the groups participating in the conference, traveling from across the region, have a very clear understanding of what the opportunities are within the Commonwealth.
The efforts being made on their behalf. And the people participating in this program very much recognize the ingenuity, the commitment, and the drive to improve the whole of this region, but the whole of the Commonwealth. It is very much a Commonwealth venture.
Improve the Commonwealth. I don't even know what to say about that, man. But this is the point I want to make, man.
And I thank you for the hospitality of those groups and what they're able to do here, as they recognize in government and business collaboration to people links across music and wider communities. I wasn't going to mention sport. Our current partnership is broad and strong.
And a newly
Yes, across, music and sports, no? In other words, you Negroes get to tap dancing, singing, and kicking the ball.
Appointed British High Commissioner to Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean, Simon Mustard, is confident the partnership between Barbados and the United Kingdom will continue to grow from strength to strength in the coming years.
That relationship is multi-layered also. Too often when people think of the UK, they often think of London, a beautiful capital that it is, but not of the rest of the country and the islands of the British Isles. And
the British Isles, I mean the other countries that y'all have subjugated right now under your foot, basically.
A proud Yorkshireman, I can assure you, there is so much more to see and to cherish and enjoy.
Meanwhile, Acting Minister of Foreign Affairs and Trade Sandra Husbands says Barbados looks forward to expanding the opportunities for investment with the United Kingdom. Opportunities that will contribute to economic growth and prosperity of our people and businesses.
If it's one thing I begin to recognize, right? Me personally, is that this lady right here, like, seriously, I hope y'all listen to what she's about to say here. Please listen to what she's about to say.
The United Kingdom remains an important partner in education.
The United Kingdom remains an important partner in education. I mean, in Barbados, because the only thing that they gave us is a colonial curriculum to produce slaves, cogs, to work in the system, who are not cognizant of their enslavement.
Notably as a destination of choice for our students pursuing a range of university studies, as well as through the esteemed Chevening Scholarship Program, which empowers Barbadian students.
The party
I ain't even want to get no further, man.
was broken into 4 distinct and entwined nations that make up the United Kingdom. Guests were given passports which allowed them to enjoy the various experiences of England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. Anesta Henry, CBC News.
Yeah. Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, all this other stuff. Y'all do the history on these places, right? A lot of these places were controlled by black nobility when the Moors conquered Europe in the 7th century. So a lot of the folks, a lot of the royal families in these neck of the woods were black folks' family. Do not let them fool you, man. Do not let them fool you. They look just like you and I. After a while, they assimilated with the Europeans, the lighter virgins, and had children and children and children. But one thing you can't get rid of, right, is our black gene. You can't get rid of that there, right? That DNA, you can't hide it, Princess Anne. It is obvious you can't go in the sun for too long. I can see that. But anyhow, so this is my point, family. They trying to put you back in a space where they feel you need to be put back in, where you belong, man. Where you belong. Hold on, let me go back here real quick. Let me go back. Let me get yes. Pedro, I see you. I see you. Yes, I realize it too. Hold on. Truth to power, Rasta man. Seriously, Frank, this is crazy, man. Who is the crown that is the who is the crown that is the no, Sean. The people is the crown. The people is the crown. Every individual is the crown. Don't let it fool you. That's the illusion. They control the country. They don't control the nation. They play with the words because of their legalese and their jargon to manipulate the people, the persons. They manipulate the persons. You see what I'm saying? We the people. Yeah, I hear that. I hear that. You're surprised that SC over there? Did the KSC went? Them could have well kept the KSC instead of fooling a lot of people. Well, I can't really say that, quite frankly, Pedro. You might be onto something though. What she took, brothers, niggas traded, what they took. I'm not sure what you mean, Pedro. You actually what she took? I'm not really sure what you mean by that one, Pedro. Enlighten me. Well, niggas traded what they took. I think I catch you because I would have obviously that's referring to a point, but bring me up to speed, man. The whole royal thing for the birthday celebration is a comedy. It's a comedy show. No, the British High Commissioner has a right to celebrate their king. That's their king. They're gonna do with us. They invite some people to their party, no problem. But you're gonna have the prince and there, and you all don't have a conversation. Listen, can you care about this message to the fella, the king, for me? And tell him, man, we want what is ours. What's that, Rastaman? Well, I would say reparation, but I wiser than that. I want y'all to take responsibility. Take responsibility for what you have done. Own up to it so we can move forward the way you claim you want to move forward. Although I know it's just words. Look at that there, look. Words, man. No words. Well, they're speaking just words, man. Just words. Let me tell you right now. Let me go to the other video, man. Hold on. Let me go to this one real quick. Hold on. Let me do a full screen on this. I don't know if I can actually get it any larger than this, but I want to try to see if I can get this. Nah, it ain't going to enhance. It ain't going to enhance. It ain't going to enhance. And I don't think I'm playing the whole thing.
Jamaica was the Caribbean's largest.
I don't. Let me see. I might play most of it. I may not play the whole thing, but we're going to see in a minute. Pedro, they would say slavery was legal back then. They wouldn't say it was legal. Slavery was legal. You're right. They wouldn't say that it was legal. It was definitely legal, Sean. I see you. I see you. It was. I see you, Pedro. For sure. For sure. England to get them brainwashed. Exactly my point. And once Miss Husbands talking about she promoting that. Again, I can't figure this thing out because it only goes to show you that they themselves are cogs. They're cogs, and they actually get out there and say this openly with no remorse. Like they don't even realize that they're cogs. So you can't even be vexed with them. It is up to you, the people watching this program. It's up to us, the people watching this program, to do what we have to do for ourselves. Stop asking these administrators to be your government, to do for you what you have been given the authority to do for yourself. It is that time. Show it to BNC again all day, every day, man. These folks arrive here as settlers. They arrived as settlers. Tell me how the government owned property. The government does own the property. Tell me how the administrator decided how to administer your property. How that working? Make that make sense? What forbidden to remember is terrifying to forget. Oh, I like that one right there, Elder. I got to earmark that one there, man. I got to do a whole program around that one. Hold on, let me get that screenshot, man. What's forbidden to remember is terrifying to forget. I love it, Elder. I love it. I give thanks for the wisdom, man. Give thanks. Give thanks. We're going to do a whole special program on that one there, brethren. Wait till I show you the next video. In keeping with what you said. In keeping. That's how the ancestors work, you know. Shout out to Aunt Rose, man, and the whole family, Papa and everybody, man. Uncle Erskine and Stuart and the whole rest, the whole team, man. Girly and everybody, man. Everybody, man. All the ancestors, man. Call their name, family. Call their name, man. Let me play this video right here on that pause, man. Hang on. We go into Mr. Beckles, man. I don't normally play Hillary sometimes, but your refusal to apologize for slavery or acknowledge reparation. Listen carefully to this right here, man. Hold on.
Jamaica was the Caribbean's largest slave market. The British imported into Jamaica 1.3 million Africans. At the end of slavery in 1838, there were 300,000 remaining. The question has to be asked then, how do you reduce 1.3 million people to 300,000?
Question. Did y'all know that Barbados had about 700,000 that right after emancipation was somehow reduced to, guess what, about 280,000? Which is a little freaky because from then to now, the population of Barbados has roughly been about 280,000, give or take. Don't know, family. You can't. How do you reduce the population so much so fast? How? Question.
After 200 years, less than 25% survival. Slavery in Jamaica was genocidal.
You hear that? And that same formula applied to the entire Caribbean, that they're now looking to do this all over again, family. They're looking to do it all over again. They got AI. They don't need as many people as they once had. Overstand what's really going on, family.
When the British Prime Minister, Mr. Cameron, visited Jamaica, he did not wish to speak of the colonial past. Britain had taken Jamaica from the Spanish in 1655 and had ruled Jamaica until 1962, when Jamaica forcefully demanded its independence. And so he said, there will be no apology for slavery. There will be no conversation about reparatory justice. The French president, Mr. Hollande, had also visited a Caribbean colony in Guadeloupe. He too said there will be no apology for slavery and there will be no reparations. But he was in Guadeloupe to open a multi-million euro museum dedicated to slavery as a gift from the people of France.
You understand what I'll tell you, family? You hear this thing here? This is what I'm saying. The royal family came here again, and this conversation about working together, solidarity and prosperity, equal prosperity, all this kind of language. Are you for real? Like for real? It don't. So wait. We just gonna forget everything, right? Just gonna forget everything. You ain't apologizing. You ain't even acknowledging it. You just gonna brush right over it like it never happened. And we want to get back to how it was and keep everybody in line and get back to the colonial mindset of the Democratic Party and get back to keeping the BLP and the people in Barbados in line and in check. Keep them in check. So we're gonna put tints and we're gonna monitor the tints on the vehicle because we don't feel safe. We don't feel safe anymore. I wonder why when they get it so nervous. Guess what though? Like Ralph Thorne said, like Mr. Thorne said, it's an illusion because it will not stop crime, which will continue. If one is scared now, get a different job. Because unless y'all want to be truthful, that whole Tint law is to force more compliance on the people and keep beating you down into a state of being complicit in your own demise. slowly but surely, you're gonna bring somebody else again and somebody else again and somebody else again, and you're just gonna keep complain, like the illusion of giving you $300 while taking away 30,000 from you. Because if they get 5 more years, which they probably want to get, you're going to give it to the most likely, plus the 8, so the 3, that's 8. The next 8 years of your resilience tax, if you add up the amount of money they're going to make from people in Barbados, that $300 was the hook on the line that grabbed you as a fish. Tell them, Hillary.
So that the African community in the French islands could see the horror of slavery displayed in their museum. He went on to add that France owes the people of the Caribbean a debt of gratitude. But this gratitude would not be expressed in either an apology or in any form of reparatory justice. All of this came against the background of what had transpired in 2001, when President Aristide of Haiti demanded the return of the 150 million francs that France had insisted that Haiti pay for their own self-liberation.
Now listen to this carefully. Don't forget, at the time, he said, you know what, enough is enough. We want our money back. We want it back. You all remember that situation? And what happened right afterwards? What happened right afterwards?
You may recall that Haiti had fought a war of liberation, declared their independence on the 1st of January 1804. The Haitians were the first people on this planet to give Napoleon Bonaparte a whipping. And in return for this whipping, France insists that if the Haitians wish to be recognized as an independent nation state, they will have to pay compensation to their former enslavers. 1825, the Haitians are celebrating the 21st anniversary of their independence. France had refused to recognize Haiti as an independent nation. All the slave-owning nations of the Western world, Britain, Spain, Portugal, Holland, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, the United States, all said they will not recognize Haiti until the French recognize Haiti. The French said, if you want recognition, you pay for it. The Haitian people in 1825 had therefore a decision to make on their 21st anniversary. There were parties in Port-au-Prince, but there were also French gunboats in the harbor. The Haitian cabinet met and agreed that they wished to be reinserted into the international community, and this reinsertion would cost them 150 million francs, which is 21 billion US dollars in contemporary money. This money was paid, agreed to be paid, and was paid to the French government over 100 years. This extraction of economic value out of Haiti in the first 100 years of its nationhood crippled that nation. In some years in the 19th century, the payment to France in reparations accounted for 60 to 70% of the foreign exchange earnings of that nation. Aristide asked for the return of this money to the people of Haiti.
And what happened?
He wrote to the French government, government to government, calling for the return of this money. The French government invaded Haiti. Aristide was overthrown and removed from office.
You get that? You get that? And all this happened with CARICOM in place, and none of the islands stood up and said a word. Why? Because they never really recognized Haiti as an independent state. That's how you know that Miss Motley going to Dominica in the issue, because they all part of the what? She just said it, the Commonwealth. So don't mind they possess the idea in your head that we independent. That's just the illusion. It's still the colony. That's the illusion they gave you. So the illusion of inclusion. All right, well, look, come. We're independent now. We get to do it on our own. No, what happened basically was they needed to extract more money from you because you were starting to make too much money. You might want to develop your Black Wall Street, you know, the idea of being self-sufficient and becoming sovereign. So they had it, rather than you have ownership of your own buses, no, you could come and sit on the white man bus now, just to use the term loosely, because it wasn't the white buses in Barbados, all black buses. We've been had black governments, but we ain't gonna touch that too much. Check the science, family. The illusion of inclusion. This is what Mr. Frondell Stewart is referring to. This is what Miss Cynthia Ford is referring to. Let me get back to controlling these people the way we were controlling them before, because right now they're getting a little too out of line. That one politically incorrect. He getting real bold with his statements and prophecies, man. His predictions are coming true, man. We seeing it. We can't have that, man, because we got to keep up with this thing to make it look like we doing work, but in reality, nah, he talking liberation. Others talking dictatorship. Being dominated. So what we're going to do now, family, what is the plan right now going forward? You asked back for what is yours. They came and overthrew him and kick him out.
His successor, his first public statement was that the claim for reparations and the repayment of this money was a criminal act and removed from the state.
It's a criminal act to ask back for what is rightfully yours. So that's why we could go and knock around with the princes and all the other stuff, and nobody don't want to say a word. What's forbidden to remember is terrifying to forget. That is a fact, man. Absolute fact, man. There were people of color before the Moors. We were everywhere. Facts. This is what it is, family. This is what it is, man. Greetings to you too, Judith Ann Clark. Greetings to the Clark family. I think you're part of the Clark family, right? For sure, for sure, for sure. In case I'm wrong, shout to another Clark family. You want reparation? Pedro, hold on. You want reparation? You said she should give back what she took? Yes, Pedro, I said she should give back what she took as a symbol of our gesture of sincerity. The question, if you ask me if I want reparations, I know that reparation comes afterwards. There are prerequisites that go before reparation. So therefore, asking for reparation is pointless without putting other things. We got the carrot before the horse with the question of reparation, man. Y'all get here fast. What you driving? Wait. I am not sure what that one is though, but I don't know. What you driving? I don't know about that one. I ain't sure, but nevertheless, Judith Anchor, greetings. Oh, okay. It's a personal thing going on. No problem, no problem, no problem. Hill says, all right, it's a whole family thing going on tonight. Like we was out somewhere by selling. Okay, I see what's going on, man. How they get 300,000 on a live, the rest of them. Well, Sean, you see what's going on. They were not imported. Please change that script. Well, some were imported, not all, because they're still importing some all now from Ghana and other places, Cuba and other places. So they do import some, but all weren't imported. I totally agree. Greetings to you too, family. Greetings, greetings. Always early. Always gets on the replay. Is a Griffin still using the title, sir? Another MLK. But I don't know, man. Sir Hillary, no European invited the European Union to sit and CARICOM. Pathetic. Well, I don't know if that's a little tricky, Pedro, because most of the islands in CARICOM still a part of Commonwealth. So in a sense, they're still managed by the Europeans. So the Europeans are still in control of majority of the people who in CARICOM, because CARICOM is just that. I mean, should Barbados leave CARICOM as a republic? I mean, not be a part of the Commonwealth? I don't know, man. I don't know. That's an interesting question, though, Pedro. Very interesting question. Greetings to the sheriff of the building, man. Greetings from the office of the sheriff, man. Sheriff of the building. And to keep talking about the Holocaust in Germany, but how the Holocaust that took place here, this was a genocide, man, a total genocide. But again, we're not having those conversations. We're not having those conversations, man. The brother just said it, you know. Well, he just said it. What's forbidden to remember is terrifying to forget. That's what's going on, Sean. The illusion now is republic. Yep. Keep you on your toes, man. With still no constitution. You ain't hear nothing about that, AG. But you could pass a law on tints. How about the transparency law you talked about? You ain't passed that one yet, though. Yeah, everything, the tint. Look, man, look, these not even, look, man. Joke thing that is, man. We have no heroes at this point. Worthless printed money, backed up nothing for life. Land and legacy, priceless, man. Priceless. Greetings to you too, Maureen. Good night, family. The hurricane season is with us. I celebrated my ancestors whose bones lie at the bottom of the Atlantic. Their spirits visit us in storms and hurricanes from Africa to Caribbean. Yes, I've heard people say that before. I've heard of that one before. Hold on, Pedro. Them leave the Commonwealth. Them can't leave the Commonwealth. I got you, Pedro. They can't leave the Commonwealth. How can they? How can they leave? Yeah, she just said, we're going to share in this prosperity. You keep the people on their toes, keep taxing them, and send us the tax. Just keep printing the money that has no value. They won't know the difference because nobody's checking. You don't believe me? Ask the Auditor General. That's the Auditor General. Family, that's where we at right now regarding all this thing here, man. That's where we at. It might, you know, a lot of things going on, man. You know, in fact, let me just play one more video. You talk about Mr. Beckles, but don't forget that Mr. Frondel wasn't necessarily a fan of him either. Because believe it or not, since we're going in the archives with Mr. Frondel Stewart, allow me to show you a different Frondel Stewart, the one that you don't always see. You don't always see this Frondel, but he's always there nevertheless.
And he has been trying to get Barbadians to decide whether it's going to accept the policies of the Democratic Party in office, or whether they're going to accept the policies of the Haitian campus under his leadership. Barbados has one government. And I consider it most disrespectful and ungrateful for any principle of the Haitian campus of the university or any other principle of any other education institution of Barbados to pose as an alternative government to Barbados. If you want to be a politician, leave the security of your prepared position, come down and join the fray, and be prepared to be dealt with politicians.
I thought that was hilarious. He told Hillary back there, you want to be a politician? Come on here, man. Be prepared to be dealt with politically. I don't know what that meant, though. So like an inside thing to me. Nevertheless, family, all I'm saying to you, all right, is that the illusion of inclusion is still up and about. When they can make laws about tints and all this sort of nonsense going on. When fully, it's obvious to duck that. Wait a minute, hold on. Let me go to this one here real quick. Let me switch up on y'all. Let me go back here real quick. Where are we going? We're going this one. Let's go with this one. Let's go with this one. These are illusions that going on in this country. You can't make this stuff up, family. You can't make this up. This is Parliament. You can't make this up. Listen to this really carefully.
Lately, crime has been on our faces, in our communities, in our districts. And I can't say that any of them were related to the absence or presence of tints on vehicles. Our criminals are so brazen now that they come out in broad daylight. You just need to check social media. Hold up cars, beat up elderly gentlemen, instances like that. Young people being stabbed, the videos on social media. And I really cannot agree in all good conscience that the legislation, the amendments on the tint will actually prevent any of those crimes. And
Mr. AG, nobody believes you. So we know that this is an illusion. Nobody believes you. Like, that is the I mean, you could have said you wanted to do that for other reasons, but to say that that's to assist with an effort to reduce crime, I mean, that is the most nonsensical thing. Did he actually say that? I don't think he said that, man. I can give him the benefit of the doubt tonight. Pedro, did he actually say that, man? We gonna have to look that one up, man. The AG, I don't know, man. Like I said, he needs to resign, man. As a matter of principle and integrity, too many mothers have had to bury their sons in this nation, and too many females in the BLP support this man with this madness without saying, you know what? You ain't doing a good job, brother. You ain't really handling this thing properly. You should step down and let somebody else do it. Because you are not fit for that office. It is evident. And I'm saying the women in the BLP, let me make this a different situation though. All the women in the BLP, all the mothers in the BLP, all the people that support the BLP, y'all sit there and watch this man going and coming, has no solution, and mothers have been holding their bellies in this nation for years now. Countless, hundreds of young people, hundreds of young men gone pointlessly and violently. The most y'all could do is come up for the last young fella, 13 years old. I ain't taking away from it, but I taken away from it because you need to stand out as a matter of principles. And yes, colleague, I say what I said, and you said I was being hard on him. I ain't started to be hard yet. He been hard on himself. Him and that other one, Wilfred Abram, I don't want to even start on him yet. I'm waiting for the file. I'm waiting for the file, man. I be going to take a look at what really going on, man. Y'all got to be kidding me, man. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. I'm telling y'all, man. You see, direction is more important than speed, you know. But when we live in a society where speed becomes so important that we lose sight of our direction, I guarantee the nation is going to crash. It's going to crash. So before it crash, allow somebody to at least alert the driver. Listen, man. I know Miss Motley always saying we can speed and mash break, speed and mash break. So but guess what, Miss Motley? Between you and I and the rest of politically incorrect, the Faith Family and Barbados National Congress, I ain't know nobody else, right? But I'm going to tell you this real plain and real simple.
Somebody advising you wrong. They can't be your friends and your allies when they're advising you wrong.
Yeah, they can't be your friend or your ally. They're advising you wrong, man. I don't know who advising you. I don't know. I hope it's not Princess Anne because she advising you wrong. Hope it's not. I don't know if the British High Commission or what. Somebody advised you wrong. They said they gave us the goal the Central Bank of England has. Yeah, give us the goal the Central Bank have. We can start with that there, Princess Anne. In fact, well, nah, not really. We didn't really want that because the truth is that goal ain't come from Barbados. That goal ain't come from Barbados. But what you can do, I'll tell you what you can do. Well, maybe not in this program. Maybe not this one. Rastamani AG is a hypocrite. But yo, we're getting on, Mr. Jilts. Thanks for joining tonight and not being so rough on me. Thank you. Nevertheless, he said the AG is a hypocrite, huh? I don't even know if he's a hypocrite. I don't know if he's a hypocrite. I don't even know. Like I said, these are all cogs in a system. They've been educated to be cogs in a system. I don't even think he's aware of his level of unawareness. I'm going to say that again. I don't even think he is aware of his level of unawareness, man. Plain and simple, man. The Tint law is or money grab. Nothing else. Nothing else, man. Money grab. She acting nervous. Yeah, she didn't really want to say that, but she was probably prompted to do that. Who knows? Remember that Mia idea? Remember that is Mia's idea, not the AG. Wait a minute, Pedro. Nah, I ain't know that. I ain't know that at all. Well, like I said, Pedro.
Somebody advising you wrong.
Somebody advising her wrong, man, Pedro. Plain and simple, man. The AG said the police asked for the Tint. Man, You cannot make this stuff up. So I ain't know that. Derek, we're getting on, family. Greetings to you too, brother. Greetings. Welcome. Family, write your comments and let me know what y'all think about this whole thing. Y'all think it's a land grab? You know what I'm saying? Y'all think it's going to work? If not, you have ideas. You can post your ideas as well, because they do watch the program, you know. They do watch the program. I can prove it. Let me give you the latest. Let me give you the latest right here, because some time ago we had played a video that talked about hotels and restaurants getting concessions, you know, why they don't give the regular restaurants and the regular small man a concession, right? Well, guess what, family? Well, guess what? You can't make this stuff up. This guy right here, not sure who he is. He's Ryan Ford. He's supposed to be CEO of Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association. I know, the BHTA. Apparently, well, let me let him tell you. Hang on a second. Let me let him tell you.
Beyond contributing millions of dollars to the economy annually, this sector is also a key pillar of culinary tourism, which attracts both visitors and locals alike. The granting of these concessions for small to large standalone food operators is a vital move, as it enables businesses to reinvest in their plant or facilities, their team members, digitize their business offering, stay current with industry trends, and more importantly, remain competitive. Both the tourism industry and the country need positive shocks, and this is one of those shocks that the BHTA applaud.
Okay, so basically, he gives a thumbs up to duty-free concession initiative. So yes, some restaurants, I don't know if it applies to all, but we got to check the list of which restaurants he's referring to, because he might be talking about places like, you know, the Tide, the Cliff. Yeah, I call names, man. I call them too specifically. So he might not mean my friend in Boxers Road. He might not mean them. I don't know. So we gotta wait and see first before we go applauding this. But we didn't mention that before on this platform. And guess what? I'm gonna say it again. Yeah, somebody gotta guide them, because they ain't got a clue what they're doing in most cases. I telling you, point blank. You know what I'm saying? Plain and simple. Plain and simple. If I say we gotta do a special night though on civics. On civics. Not the idea of civics as it's taught by some people who talk about they teaching civics, but understanding what it really is. Why we need to get back to understanding who we are and the distinct difference between the country of Barbados and the nation of Barbados. They are not one and the same. The AG is a puppet being controlled by the puppet master, man. I see you on the road. You just come here and dive right into the deep end of the pool, huh? When you have a leader that try to take away people's rights to speak what you call that she is used. Hold on a second. Let me try on something saying. When you have that try to take away people's rights to speak, what you call that, she is using the same kind of bullying as Papa Doc used in Haiti. She is a dictator. Keep watching. Well, Richard, I don't get me wrong. Yes, okay. Well, no, I can't. No, Miss Motley is not a dictator. Y'all gotta stop saying that, man. I don't know who came up with that nonsense. Miss Motley, she is not no dictator. Miss Motley is. Listen, man, stop giving praises where praises ain't due. Honor where honor ain't due. She is not a dictator, man. You ask me, what do I call that? I call it she's doing her job. That's all she's doing. Miss Motley is only the spokesperson for the plantocracy. The people that own the country known as Barbados, or better yet, the people that own the corporation known as Barbados do not want to be seen. So they appoint someone, they select someone to do the bidding on their behalf. Miss Motley just happened to be that individual. After the Nelson Street shooting, the PM hold a press conference and announced the Tint. Well, where did she get that from, Pedro? You understand what I'm saying? How the PM know about tints and Kiara? Come on, man. Where she got that from? Who whispered that in her ear? I think the AG don't care. Not that he don't care. He don't have a clue. He just doing his job like Miss Martin doing her job for the salary. Them folks don't have a clue what's going on, going and coming. You see, he read the paper. He must have only glanced at that just when he got to work this morning, that morning. He might have only got that morning when he was going through it there, just thumbing through, trying his best to not mispronounce them titles. He said it there in my thing. I out to my league here, man. This is my thing. How much money do you think it will cost to remove and replace it? You referring to the tint? I don't know if that's what you mean, Maureen. I'm not sure if that's what you're asking. None of them care. None of them care. Straight up, they don't care. They're not wired to care. They're not educated to care. Caring is empathy. They don't have that. Because if they had empathy, they wouldn't do half the stuff they do. Because half the stuff they do, I gotta tell you, it takes away from the people. How much money will it cost to rep? Maureen, I don't want to misunderstand you. So help me with this one. I don't know that rep as in represent or reparation, or how much money will it cost? I'm not sure which one you're referring to. So help me with that one. Facts for sure, Derek. We speak in facts on politically incorrect. We don't speak feelings. We speak facts. We speak facts, man. Y'all realize that the killing started back after the by-election. There was a quiet during the time we were seeing just burglaries. Now all of a sudden, like I said, politics invent crime, man. The European Union. Okay, I follow you, Pedro. You might be onto something. The purpose is more important than the direction. Facts. I would go with that too. I would go with that. Purpose is more important than direction, but you definitely got to have a purpose to know the direction you're going in. I know that if you're speeding, you might miss your turn. So you got to be paying attention on this journey called life, man. Yes, the tint installers will take us to the bank. Oh, man. But you got to pay to take it off and pay to put it back on if you want tint. So that's, hey, buddy. So the man that's selling the tint is really who going to capitalize off of this. But family, you're going to say this. If you're buying tint for your cars, make sure you ask for a ceramic. Make sure this ceramic tint is better, because what it does also, don't mind the percentage of the shade. Ceramic actually reduce the UV rays. Thus, it stops your car from getting as hot during the day in the sun, like a car that has tint that is not ceramic. So there's the vinyl tints, of course, but then there's also something called a ceramic tint. Ceramic repels the heat as opposed to attracting it. Just a little sidebar thing there, a little information for those who might want to know it. But having said that, I think I done run through I think I got this sewed up right here pretty much. Anyhow, how long I've been on here, family? Long enough. We give thanks. They want to stay on, but so long. A lot of Napoleon characters, Animal Farm. That's right, Pedro. That's right. Speaking of Napoleon, right? Unbelievable, family. Family, we got to pay attention. That's why I'm just saying, man, enough is enough. We got to get this thing right. So let me not play the game, man. Let me not play the game. I do have one more video to show. Let me go ahead and put this up real quick. Just because I think this is important. We need to pay attention to it. In case you all have not heard, there is apparently a new variant, like I mentioned earlier. Let me let his sister speak on this for a second. Here, let's take a listen here, family.
This new variant that has been discovered is, of course, more transmissible, but in itself, it is not more virulent. More transmissible means that more people will get it, and therefore those who are more vulnerable are more likely to then have the serious effects, hospitalization, and so on. But it's not because of the virulence of the virus, it's because of the state of the person who would have gotten it. And since it is being seen more often in one of our source markets, the US, we can expect at some point that it will get here. If you have a vulnerable person in your house and you have a cough, cold, runny nose, that you cover your bed when you have interactions with them, you wear a mask. And when you're going out and you don't know who you're going to meet, you try to do your normal cough etiquette, cover your coughs and your sneezes, wash your hands, and keep your unwashed hands from your eyes, your nose, and your mouth.
That's basically the advice we're being given.
This new variant.
That's the advice we're being given regarding this new variant. So don't get me wrong, family. All I'm saying is, man, pay attention, family, because in case you have not noticed it, in case you weren't paying attention, it has begun. Basically, it has begun. And so, like I said, the whole thing is to put people back in a certain space. That's just the reality, man. And it's all what we call shadow policies. That's what it is, man. It's just shadow policies, man. And so we could go through this. Maybe on Friday, we could touch on this. What's happening in the USA right now, all the stuff you see all over the world, is shadow policies. And shadow policies has a purpose. Probably Google it, you might see some information on it. But shadow policies has a purpose. Has a purpose and a role in the society, especially in this day and age. Nothing is happening by chance. And that is to keep pushing middle class back and back and back and stripping from you rights that you think you have and force you to start to comply and give up your freedoms, your natural God-given rights to be here and to do the things, to sustain yourself and your family. Don't get tight with it. I realize that these agendas are being carried out across the Caribbean simultaneously, Tint and murders increasing all over the Caribbean, like if it was planned. That's what it is, family, is organized chaos. So when you see the red shirts all over the Caribbean linking, understand that what they're trying to show you ultimately is that they're pushing for one Caribbean order, like the North American Treaty, like the European Union, the Asia Treaty, everybody coming together in the Caribbean. So now they claim that Ms. Motley didn't get the appointment on that side. Well, there needs to be an appointment on this side. If we the people do not unify the region on our own, you see what Princess Anne will tell you? Y'all heard what she said? Man, I know when they hear what she said, man. I know the boy ain't listening to pay me the money, man. There goes me again, back to mass. I ain't got nothing to say about the mass. The boy ain't gonna report my page. Got me on the house arrest and duress socially. If we all don't know by now, that's because y'all don't want to know by now. So what I could tell you. Guyana is also reporting a rise in false narratives as well. Well, Derek, you see what's going on, brethren? You see what's going on, man? Greetings to you, family. Greetings, Rastafari. It's good to see you here. It is so good to have you join us. I want to show you something, though. I want to show you something. You remember this? You remember this? Rastafari. So before me, you get a chance, man. That's all I got to tell you. For a call, what about sudden death? She ain't aware. Again, Pedro, cogs in the system. They just cogs. At this point, it's like you don't even know what to say anymore. It's like they for real. I don't know if they clone them, if they robotic. I don't know what it is no more, man. I'm telling you. So let's stop looking for them to do for us. Again, like I said, what we need to do for ourselves, family. What we need right now, family, is one thing and one thing only, man. And that's love. We need love amongst each other. Love amongst each other. Love yourself. Get to know yourself. Know your purpose. Know your direction. And pick your speed. Because picking your speed don't mean you go fast. It means you're going together, family. Straight up. Straight up. Having said that, Haile Selassie first, Empress Wazira Menin, you all already know one perfect balance, one family. We deal with one order and one love, man. Straight up. People being paid to look the other way, but guess what? Those are people who do not want to step into the light. Shout to Bishai, the whole St. Vincent, the family in the Caribbean, throughout the whole region. Dominica, shout to the family in Dominica. Looking forward to hearing from you all. Hopefully this weekend we can get this conversation going. A lot of information coming out of Dominica, and some question marks coming with it. You cannot look at, man. Somebody advising you wrong here. I ain't know, man. Scabies and the old people hospital spreading. Well, love is the open door. There's a lot of things going on. I mean, how it getting there to start with? Did somebody come in with it and spread it? Or did somebody come in with it and spread it? Yeah, don't miss that one, family. Having said that, though, family, I got a new tune tonight. It's not a new tune, but it's the tune I drop in tonight. I am excited about this tune. I am excited about it. It's from one of our very own. Big up to Indra. Big up to the sister, mighty sister. Big tune, family. Big tune, family. Big tune.
Precious is life, though it's a battle for the mind. In this world, no matter the time, take a breath, 'cause you're blessed, too blessed to be stressed. Yeah. Sound your voice, brother, amidst all the constant noise, sister. Shine a light on a cold, cold world, hungry for love. They're crying out, hungry, hungry, hungry for love. They're crying out, whoa, whoa, whoa. What we need is love. They're crying out, hungry, hungry, hungry for love. They're crying out, whoa, whoa, whoa. What we need is love.
Yeah, pull that tune, Jackie. I hear some pull it, man. This is the boy that say the way. I hear you, Jackie. Got you, Jackie. Somebody decided this is saying here on the side. Might bed bugs, Emmanuel. Yeah, but what I said was, did somebody come in with them and spread it, or did somebody come in with them and spread it? Because, like, them things just don't happen suddenly. They had to come from. They don't just come out in thin air. They got to come from somewhere. So, did somebody come in with them and spread it, or did somebody come in with it and spread it? Quick question, man. Quick question. The link to this song is in the comments, family. Give the sister some energy. Make sure you click this. Put this in your playlist. They're crying out, man. The youths, they're crying out. They want love is love is love. What does Sweden go up mouth? There's bun later. People want and collect. The people went and collected $300, not knowing that it is all a part of the diabolical plan. That is an absolute fact. Night to you too, family. Night to you too, family. Mom, this tune for you, Mom. This tune for you personally, man. They crying out for love, man. Shout out to all the elders, man. And this is the matriarch right here, politically incorrect. See, family. We can defend it all the way, family.
Do you hear them crying?
Love is the answer, family.
Precious is life, though it's a battle for the mind. In this world, no matter the time, take a breath, 'cause you're blessed, too blessed to be stressed. Yeah. Sound your voice, brother, amidst all the constant noise, sister. Shine a light.
Check the thumbs up, family.
Cold, cold world.
Some love to this tune, family. Some love, man.
Hungry, hungry, hungry for love. Crying out, whoa, whoa, whoa. What we need is love. They're crying out. struggle with pain from the past. Don't you worry, it's not gonna last. Only love will live on and on. They're crying out, oh, oh, oh. Hungry, hungry, hungry for love. Crying out, oh, oh, oh. What we need is love. They're crying out, oh, oh. Hungry, hungry, hungry for love. Crying out, crying out. What we need is love, is love.
What we need is love, family. Love for self and love for nation.
Can you hear them crying out? All over the world they are crying out for love, love. They're crying out for love.
Click them hearts, man. Click them hearts, man. Love, show some love. Pick up this tune right here for sure, man.
We got to love our brother
Energy music, man.
understand. Show some compassion. What about the little boys and the girls all over the world?
Love and compassion,
The
man.
little children, can you hear them crying? Can you hear them crying out for love? Can you hear them crying out for love?
Tell a friend, family. See y'all on Friday night, man.
Crying out for
Inshallah.
love.
Rastafari.
Crying out for love.
Love, 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 love. To all my people, man. I know how y'all be, man.